Married to Medicine Season 3, Episode 14. Bahamania! I thought that this episode was off the chain, like it got deep. It had its shady and its drama moments. And Mariah is pretty much trying to figure out, she's pretty much trying to figure out the group and see, where she fits in with the group. She's trying to see, who's real, who can I trust, because pretty much on the last season, they voted her off the fucking island, so to speak. Which is a slap in the face, they was pretty much saying, like, we don't like you, we don't want to be around you. So pretty much now that she's back around, she's just trying to see, okay, who's real, who wants me around still, or who still doesn't want me around. So that's her whole fit, and that's how she's feeling. And I just say that I love Jill and her husband. They are just as feisty as hell, and they fit right in with this particular group of people, because you got your shady people and your people that will run all over you if you allow them to. And I think they just stand up for themselves. They're not what you would expect. She just seems like this blonde little scary little, white girl, timid, blah, blah, blah. And, him, he just seemed like, pretty much the same, but in a guy form. And so, I love the fact that they're just, these white people, so to speak, and they're around all these, minorities, and they're speaking up for themselves, and they're not scared, they're not timid, they got mouths on them, and they're going to tell it how it is. Like, I just love that. I love them too. I love the fact at the beach how Jill just read Heavenly, like hooked on phonics, Heavenly and Nicole, because she threw some shade at Nicole too. Lisa Nicole, when Lisa Nicole tried to come all in talking about something, calm her down. Like, I would feel the same way if I was in a confrontation, with somebody, and another person, a third party, was just like saying to another third party, or maybe a fourth party at this point, shit, I don't know, was just like calm him down, referring to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you. Like, so I would feel the same exact way. Jill gives Heavenly a run for her money, and for some reason, Heavenly she doesn't like that, for that matter, because before this, Heavenly was the most shadiest one, and she was this and that, and now you got Jill coming around, and her mouth is just like faucet water. It just keeps fucking going and going and going and going and going. I do have a lot of respect for Jill's husband. I hate to say Jill's husband and Heavenly's husband, but I don't know these motherfuckers' names, honestly. I don't even know the ladies. But I do have a lot of respect for Jill's husband, because at the end of the day, when, the guys had their little scene and they were out at the macaroni bar or whatever it was, and they were kind of like bringing it up, like what happened. He was just like, I don't feel comfortable with, saying this is my side. I don't feel comfortable with discussing it. And, him, meaning, referring to Heavenly's husband, isn't here. He wasn't there at the moment because, as we all know, he was a little late, coming to the island. But he just said, I don't feel comfortable with, discussing what happened with him not being here to defend himself. I thought that that was very big and mature of himself, and I love the fact that everybody came together and took part in the Hell Fair. This is something positive. A lot of reality shows, they get overlooked by the drama and the negativity, but this was something very, very, meaningful, and, giving back and, donating and all that stuff like that. They were donating, their time and just, their smarts, to the cause, and I just thought that that was so dope. And they were giving out food, and they had little goodie bags and stuff like that. Everybody pretty much had a role. I thought that that was just like awesome. I love the fact that it did show us, meaning you, meaning we, that they could come together and, have a good time and be one, be united. Alright, so what about Toya's butt? Like, Toya's butt really needed its own segment. Like, where'd she get all that ass from? Like, I was feeling like Heavenly. Like, did she get some shots or something? Like, I was in a motherfucking daze looking at that. Another cool part was when the couples were going to the couples therapy, and like when they first got to the beach and they had a whole band and they had the whole setup and they were all dancing, and I just got so excited. I'm like, oh, I want to go away on a vacation to an island so they could do this shit for me. Like, I want to dance. Oh. But in all seriousness, I thought that the partner swap, I think that was the name of it that someone came up with. I thought that that little exercise was very, very deep. Like Lisa Nicole, like she really, really went there, and she's always so guarded and so, I'm good and, Superwoman, S on my cape type situation. And this was different, she was being very vulnerable, and she was being open, and she was just sitting there with those sad little puppy dog eyes and those little black bags under her eyes, under all that makeup, and I could tell that she's sad and she's been crying. And like, shit, like, I started fucking crying. It's so sad. It's so sad. I'm okay. Like, she has been going through a lot recently, like with the whole cheating scandals, with him being at the stripper club bar thingy with the stripper knowing him, with the alleged, you know, affair with the young man. Like, so she has been going through a lot, and it's just like, dang, like, universe, please give Lisa Nicole a break. But like, she's a very like paid, wealthy woman, so like, don't feel too bad for her. You know, she doesn't have to deal with a lot of problems that us regular folk gotta deal with. But I do feel a very large, you know, amount of compassion for Lisa. But this is going to be the end of the video. This is your boy Brett London with 2Ds. This has been awesome. Great experience. This was a fucking awesome episode. Until next time. Next week, tune in, subscribe to my page because it's going in. As you guys saw in the preview, Mariah and Toya, they get into this big cat fight, altercation, argument. It wasn't physical, not yet, or they didn't, at least they didn't show the clip. I don't know. But tune in, because I'm definitely going to be watching, and I'm going to update you guys about what I think. The recap and the review. This is Red London. Peace and love. Until next time.